right? But at a point, if none of us are thinking,
no one grew up watching Terminator. Y'all just trust robots.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. ChatGPT. ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. ChatGPT.
I think that we don't realize that AI is potentially literally the death of like humanity.
And so if we come to fault on a computer, then we're like stopping our own brains from figuring things out.
How are you going to be in the workforce if you can't think for yourself? You can't problem solve? I don't want my nurse to consult ChatGPT when I'm at the hospital.
My name is Mrs. Green, and I teach English.
Shar Willis Gregory. I teach AP Seminar at 10th grade and AP Research in 12th grade, and I also teach AP Language and Composition in 11th grade.
My name is Erin Ewing. I teach AP Lang and Comp.
I'm Miss Wiley. I teach 9th and 10th grade English.
Samantha Folletti, 10th grade English, 12th grade English, and Yearbook Advisory.
Hello, I'm Mr. Howe. I teach 9th grade English.
Are you familiar with AI?
I am.
I am familiar with AI.
Yes.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yes, I am.
Yes, very familiar.
Have you noticed a difference in the way students think or write since AI has become more accessible to students?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I don't think I see a clear difference in how they're thinking. I do see a little bit of difference in their writing, being the fact that like it's very clear when a student is using AI.
Absolutely. And it's really frightening to me because there's so many more kids who are willing to use AI rather than think for themselves. But that also means when I'm asking them to do this work on their own, the quality of their work is way lower.
Yes, I feel that students, it's almost like a default mode now. You want kids to struggle through their thinking because that's like where they show a lack of growth.
I've noticed a reluctance students to engage in critical thinking.
What do you do or think should be done to limit the use of AI in your classroom?
I think that one of the things that we could do is step away from using so much technology, but then that doesn't help because we need to use technology.
I think that sadly people have to go back to pen and paper because then you can authenticate that these are the students' words and thoughts and beliefs. But that's the only way to do so.
To becoming like we're just handling stuff in class. So very small stuff that's handling for homework. And if we're doing something for homework, we already have a really good start on it in class. So students are feeling like they already know the next steps and they don't need to go to AI.
I think the first thing we need to do is have it blocked on the servers. But I think we also too need to instill a higher standard of like critical thinking, because you'll notice that when people do not question or challenge things, they will just fall right in line. And
I think as teachers, the best way for us to combat AI is to actually think about like ways to teach kids to use AI that still includes like integrity.
Well, first of all, I think students need to understand the environmental implications of AI. Students just need to be put in spaces where they don't have access to devices.
Do you think the lack of students thinking on their assignments will affect their ability to critically think in the future?
Oh my gosh, 100%. Absolutely. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. And it's scary because we need critical thinkers in our society.
Absolutely. They won't know how. If you know, the whole adage where if you don't use it, you lose it, they're losing it.
Absolutely. Right. Because if we know that we have this tool that is just going to do the thinking for us, I really do worry if students are over dependent on it, then they're going to lose the ability, not just to think critically, but to believe in themselves and their ability to do the work.
absolutely. We're already seeing it in colleges where they're like, we can't even assign a novel or an entire novel, or kids who say, I use ChatGPT to cheat my way through college.
Oh, absolutely. That like healthy struggle of how like what does this information mean, and the more you put yourself in situations that that challenge you and make you solve a problem, you'll take that skill in other areas of your life.
Yes, absolutely. It's like an addiction. I think it's a dependency.
Well, this doesn't affect our students, does it?
Well, Mr. Martin, that's not necessarily true. Let's ask some of our own Cass Tech kids.
I'm a Cass Tech freshman and I use AI.
I'm a Cass Tech freshman and I use AI.
I'm a Cass Tech freshman and I use AI.
I'm a Cass Tech sophomore and I use AI.
I'm a Cass Tech member and I use AI.
I'm a Cass Tech junior and I use AI.
I'm a Cass Tech junior and I use AI.
For our community engagement, we gathered around 30 students from Cass Tech to inform them on AI and its positives and negatives. We quizzed the attendees on facts about AI before we gave our presentation, and then we quizzed them again afterwards. We could see an increase in the percentages of correct answers. This finding helped us conclude that our presentation was helpful in informing students about AI.
Protect your students, limit AI, save the future.